up to this point of but I read the first. I'll find you in any which was it the songbirds of no for no, and she posted it was amazing, it was nice. And now hello everyone and welcome to a new video here in my channel. If you don't know me, hi, I am Bra. I'm very happy to be here. I make book writing and Formula 1 content here in this channel. And if you are not new and you already know me, hi, welcome back to a new video here in my channel. I am very happy to be here talking to you today because today I have a very long video. I have my wrap-up video of the past couple of months. So I'm going to be talking to you about the books that I have read at the end of March, in April and in May. So this is like my spring wrap-up video, and I'm very excited because I have read quite a few books this past few months and some of them were so good. I am very excited to talk to you about them. So I hope you are excited to this video. If you are, please like, subscribe and turn on the notifications so you can notify when I post a brand new video. And now let me start telling you about these books that I read because some of them are actually very good and I'm so excited. So let's begin with this video. Okay guys, so I have here with me a list of the books because I read so many that I need to remember the name, the author and the rating that I gave to each of the books, and I had to make a list. So I have a list with me to, you know, keep track, and I'm gonna tell you the books that I read from the first one, like not the first one, from the first one I finished after the last wrap-up video that I made until the last one that I have read up to the point of me filming this video. So the first book that I'm here to talk about is not actually one, it's three. Well, it's actually four. It is the All the Young Dudes volumes 1 to 4 like book, if that makes sense. So if you don't know, All the Young Dudes is this fanfiction that started on AO3. This girl who loves Harry Potter wrote this whole fanfiction about the Marauders, which are James, Peter Pettigrew, like James Potter, Peter Pettigrew, Sirius Black and Remus Lupin. She wrote this whole fanfiction about them, and at this point is so famous that there's people like actually making actual like books out of it. Like they get the AO3 like, you know, document and they like bind it and everything. It's so pretty. I've seen some of the most beautiful things out of this like whole like this whole book, this whole series. I don't really know how to call this because it is a fan fiction but it is a book. It's weird, but I've read the first 4 volumes like all at once because on Goodreads you can only like review the first 4 books as like one. So I had to read the first 4 volumes, which are the first 4 years of the Marauders in Hogwarts. And oh my god, I am so obsessed. I am so excited to continue. I have to read, I think the next like chunk is years 5, 6 and 7, and I think the last chunk is like the war years and 1 more year, something like that. But yeah, the next, you know, couple of books are gonna be from like volume 5, so from year 5 to like year 7, I think, or years 7, 8, yeah, I think something like that. But it is so amazing. It's so cute. They're so gay. I'm so happy that I read it. I loved it. It was a 4.5 for me. I loved it. It was so amazing. And the whole thing is based on Remus Lupin and Sirius Black being very gay, which they are. But it is just so well, it's actually so well written as well. It's so great. But it's just about them and their lives in Hogwarts, and it's just so cute. So I read that and it was amazing, and that was like at the end of March. And then after that I read Love in Times of Cholera from Gabriel García Márquez. And I don't know why I didn't like this book. I know it's a very big classic of like Hispanic literature, and I read it and I was so excited, but I didn't really like it. I didn't really even connect with the book. Like I was like, sure, I don't really mind. I don't remember a few things about it. I know it's about this family and about like this guy and this girl that are falling in love in a very political wartime of like Latin America, and how they are like always like, oh, we're gonna be together. Like it's like what's a trope? There's this trope that is I'll Find You in Any Universe, I think. It's kind of that, but it's weird. I don't even remember properly. I didn't really like it. It was a 275. I was like, like, some parts were actually cute. The writing was amazing. The writing was so good. The writing and like the style, it was amazing. It's just the story didn't really connect with me, which was a bit of like a letdown because I was very excited to read it. But after that, I read a great book. I read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes from Susan Collins, which is the first book of the prequel or sequel, I don't know, but it's, you know, after the Hunger Games, she's now writing this whole like new kind of like sequel series, and I read the two books that are out. So the first one, of course, was The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and I loved it. It was 4.5. It was so good, and then the film was also amazing. I loved it. And in case you don't know what The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is, it is a book that tells you the story about Snow, of President Snow, and it is heartbreaking. Like, you think about it, it's like, oh, it's like another, you know, guy who gets his heart broken and then decides to freaking be a dickhead, which is true, but like, it's so, I was like, oh my god, this is so cute. I was like, I have a video actually of me reading these two books. I will leave it on the eye. I have a video of me reading this one and Sunrise on the Reaping, which is the next one, and I was reading and I'm like, why is this man, you know, why is this man now like terrible? I don't get it. And then I read why, and I'm like, of course he's bad because of this now. But yeah, it was amazing. And then Sunrise on the Reaping, I rated 4 stars. It was also amazing, and that one's about Haymitch, and I love Haymitch. I was like, oh my god, it was so good. I have, again, a whole video about it, so I will not really talk about it much because I do have a video of like, I think it's 40 minutes long of me reading these two books. So again, that video's on the eye because oh my god, what books. By the way, when I'm filming this, I think the whole cast of the film of Sunrise on the Reaping has, you know, already been, you know, published, and oh my god, so good. I'm so excited. I can't wait to go and see that film because it's so exciting. So yeah, those I read, I think it was like at the beginning of April or like mid-April. I don't really remember exactly what, but around then. And after those two, I read 4 books in a day. And that is because all of the books I'm going to say from now on, like the next 4 books, are very, very short. So I literally read them in like a weekend. It was crazy, but I loved every single one of them, which is the most surprising part. So in one day, I read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I read Animal Farm. I read Medusa by Jessie Barden, I think is the name of the author. I will put the, you know, the covers on the screen. And then I read Woman Don't Owe You Pretty by Florence Given. And I read those 4 in a weekend, and it was amazing, and all of them were amazing. So Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the first one that I read and finished. This one is by Stevenson, is one of the most important like American literature, gothic, like mysterious, you know, books ever, and it was so good. I rated it 4 stars, and it was so good. And the whole story is about this guy who has like an alter ego. Yeah, I think it's Dr. Jekyll. He is a doctor. He does like a lot of like scientific shit, and he creates this like what's it called, this like liquid to like divide himself from his alter ego, and it's just so good. It was so amazing. I read it so fast, and I'm like, this is one of the best books I've read in my entire life. It was so amazing. I really enjoyed it. It was so good. It's very gothic. It's very like, yeah, very gothic, very mysterious, very like scary, and horror. So good. So good. So amazing. And after that, I read Animal Farm by George Orwell. And I am very surprised at that book because 1984 I really liked, but it took me ages to read. I'm not going to reread that book ever again in my life. But I did like it, and this book I loved. Like, Animal Farm is so freaking good. I rated it 3.75, but it was so amazing. And the whole book is about a farm that created a rebellion because they're like, we are not getting what we deserve, so let's make a rebellion. They are communist. There are animals that are communist, and it's just the whole allegory and metaphor is amazing. George Orwell is very good. I also have one book from him that I need to read that is about him being in the Spanish Civil War, because those are like the 3 main books that he has are very important. So I have that one left, but this one was amazing. And again, it was so short. I didn't know it was that short. I'm like, wow, that's impressive, but it was so amazing. So yeah, I read that. It was so good. And after that, I read Medusa by, again, I think it's Jessie Barden. I don't remember exactly the author, but that book I loved. I rated it 5 stars, and I didn't expect it to rate it 5 stars. It was amazing. And Medusa is a retelling of the story of the Greek myth of Medusa. In case you don't know, Medusa is the Greek mythological creature that has like snakes as hair and like can turn people into stone. And the whole book, it was very short. It was like 170 pages, and it was mainly a conversation. But that's what I thought. It was so amazing. Like, it is a great, well-written book. Even Madeline Miller was like, this is amazing. I'm like, yes, girl, it is. It is so cute, and I loved it because in just 170 pages, and most of it is a conversation, you get so much, like, so many information, so much just love and like things in the book by just a conversation. I think it's amazing. Like, the power of the conversations are like crazy to me. It is so good. I loved it. It was amazing, and I rated it 5 stars. It was amazing. One of the best books I read this year. It was so good. Now, after Medusa, I read Woman Don't Owe You Pretty by Florence Given, and I got this book. Well, I didn't even get it. A friend of mine had it, and I asked if I could, like, if she could lend it to me. I found about this author, like, about this girl on TikTok, because she makes so great, like, so much content on TikTok and Instagram about self-love and about how important it is to, you know, not do what other people want you to do, and just, she's like empowering women all the time, and then she's amazing. I love her. She is so pretty. She has pink hair. I love her. I totally recommend you to go see her, like, TikTok and Instagram. She's amazing. And she published this book a couple years ago, I think it is, and a friend of mine had it, and I'm like, can I read it? And she's like, yeah, of course. I loved it. It was so good. I even have a review on my personal Instagram that I do reviews on my personal Instagram, but I only do reviews that are worth doing. And that book is there. So imagine how good it is. I will leave my personal Instagram here so you can go see that review and follow me if you are interested to see what I have there. Because it's very, like, personal, but personal. So feel free to, you know, follow me there. Every other, like, social media thing that I have is down below as always. So go see what I have. Like, I have Instagram, I have Twitter, I have, like, Instagram, I have, like, Bookstagram, personal, and an author's account. Then I have Twitter for Formula One, and I have Storygraph, Goodreads, and Spotify. Like, everything's down below. Go follow me there if you're interested. But yeah, I posted this book on my personal Instagram because it was amazing, and it was just so good, and it's so empowering. And I'm like, I felt so, like, I felt like a complete new person after reading that book. I'm like, yes, it was amazing. And this book I rated 4.75. It was amazing. It was so good. Now, after that, I read Babel, and oh my god, Babel. I also have a reading vlog of me reading Babel. I put it on the eye. It was amazing. I rated it 5 stars. Of course, it was one of the best books I read this year. It was amazing. It's all about translation and literature and Oxford and dark academia, and this guy from China who goes to England to study, you know, translation and literature, and it's just amazing. As someone who does literature and translation, I understood everything. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I know this book. I know this book. I felt smart. For once in my life, I was reading a book that I felt smart with, because sometimes I read books that are like, the focus is something that I don't know about, and I just feel stupid because I don't understand anything. I understood everything about this, and it was amazing. I loved it. It was so good. Totally recommended. The writing style was amazing. The characters were amazing. The plot twists were amazing. Everything about this was amazing. So I totally recommend you reading it. Again, 5 stars. I have a reading vlog in my channel. Amazing. So go watch that if you're interested to see what I actually thought of everything and my reactions and shit. Everything's on my, you know, reading vlog. And after that one, I read The Tattooist of Auschwitz, and I loved that book. I rated it 4.75, and it was amazing. That book is about this guy who ends up being in Auschwitz, and he got in and he almost dies at one point. So this other character, who is the original tattooist of Auschwitz, he is like helping him, and then he dies, and then the main character becomes the new tattooist, and it's all about him falling in love with this woman in the concentration camp. And literally their storyline and their love life is, I will find you in any universe, because he's like, it doesn't matter, I will find you wherever you are. I will actually go find you, and we'll have our dream life, and we'll be happy and free. And it's so cute. I loved it. It was heartbreaking as well. I love reading books about the Second World War and about concentration camps, because I love learning, and that's how I learn about things, by reading. And that book was just so good. I loved it. It was amazing. It has a place in my heart. That book has a place in my heart. It was so amazing. And yeah, it was so cute. I loved it. I really recommend that one. Now, after that, I read Out on a Limb by Hannah something. I don't remember the author, but I will leave the cover. I will leave the covers of all the books in the screen. But yeah, like, I read this book, Out on a Limb. I rated it 3.75 stars. And I read this book for a podcast that my friends have. I have a few friends who have a podcast about literature and about books. And they made this, like, this episode. It's actually already out, I think. Yes, they made this episode where they were like, let's make a little book club, let's read all the book, you all commented, and then we will read it in the podcast. So I read it for that, and it was not the best book I ever read, but it was actually pretty cute. Like, it is a romance book about this girl who has like a problem, like she doesn't have like a full like what's the word, she doesn't have full control of one of her hands, because it's like, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like she has the hand, but it's like she can't really use it. And then there's this guy who doesn't have a leg, like they have like physical differences from everyone else, and they fall in love, and the girl becomes like, it's pregnant at one point, and it's all about the pregnancy. It's so cute, but it's like not the best book I ever read, but it's very easy to read. It's a romance, it's very cutie, and I enjoyed it. Again, it was nice, it was not bad. So yeah, I recommend it because it is just a cute little romance. If you want to just read something fast and easy this summer, I totally recommend that one, because it is pretty cute, pretty easy. Recommend it, yes. And I rated it 3.75. I don't know if I said it or not, but I rated it 3.75. After that one, I read 2 classics. I read Catcher in the Rye, and I read To Kill a Mockingbird. And I am here to say that they are good, but I wasn't in love with them. I thought they were going to be very different for some reason. So Catcher in the Rye, I didn't like. I rated it 2.5. I didn't like it. I didn't even connect with it. Like, I read it and I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. But I was like, very mid, like, nah, sure. I think it's very overrated. That book is so overrated. I'm like, I get why the book is famous, and I get why it's very important for literature, like the history of literature, but I'm like, And after that, I read To Kill a Mockingbird, which I rated 3.5. I did like a bit more, and I don't think it's overrated. I think that's perfectly rated. It's a very good book. You will learn a lot about like American like situation and American like society and stuff, and it is good. But I'm like also very mid. I'm like, yeah, it's good. I read it. They're classics, so I can say I've read them, and I'm proud to say I've read them. But I'm like pretty decent. Like, yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird I did like a bit more. I was like, okay, this is good. Okay, I like this other thing. And now the last books that I read up until the point of me filming this video are the first 3 books from the Mindfuck series by T.A. Abbey, something Abbey. I don't remember exactly, but I will leave the 3 covers that I read. So I read the first 3 books. I will leave the covers here. I rated the first book 3 stars, the second book 3.5, and the third book 3.25. Sorry. And the books are like pretty decent. They're like easy to read. They're dark romance. These books are dark romance, but I feel like it is a very like mild dark romance. Like, it is dark romance, but I expected them to be much like higher in like dark romance level. It is dark romance, and you can tell it's like some scenes are like, oh my god, but it's like pretty decent. They're easy to read. They're very easy to read. They're very short as well, so you can read them very fast. But yeah, I was like, they're good. They're not crazy. They're decent. Yeah, fine. I'm reading them good, and like I'm reading them fine, and I'm very happy that I'm reading them, because these books are making me not be in a reading slump, which I appreciate. But they're not like freaking crazy or anything. They're good. They're decent. Yeah, fine. I like them. They're good. Yeah, that's it. Very mid. But yeah, those are the last 3 books that I read before me, like, up until the point of me filming this. So I read the first 3. I don't know the title. Again, the covers are gonna be here probably. And yeah, those are all the books that I have read in the past 2 months and a bit, like 2 months and a half, I think, like around that. In the past 2.5 months, I've read all of these books, and I did have some books that were amazing, and some books that were like, like none of them were like shit, but like most of them were like either very good or like very mid. It was like between that. But yeah, those are all the books that I've read in the past couple of months. I hope you enjoyed this video of me chatting to you about them, and please, if you read any of them and you want to, tell me about them, leave on the comments what you thought about the books. If you have read any of them, let me know on my Instagram, because I will read it and chat to you, because I love talking. So let me know if you read any of these, or if you've read them and you want to talk about them. Feel free to come and just come to my DMs and tell me about them, because I am very excited to talk to you about books, because I love talking about books. So if you come to me, I will literally just start a great conversation with you all. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you know if I want to post a brand new video. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next video, which I can tell you is going to be the TBR of the summer. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you are excited for that one, and I will see you on the TBR.